Hello, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Stuart, Unrepentant Atheist, and I've got two calls in one today, so let's get going with
Yes,
it.
that's correct.
Okay. Do you have a question?
I just wanted to call in real quick. Yeah, I've seen you guys show a lot, and I wanted to call in particular today. I see you're live. I've heard you guys go on and on about this, and when it comes to talking about the Bible, you guys are just practically illiterate.
Really?
I've heard what you say, and you guys really don't have any facts at all.
Like what?
Well, just like anything you've ever said today about the Bible, about anything that you've ever said about it. Besides, what I'd really like to do is someday I'm gonna come down there and punch your fat face in for Jesus. That's what I'm gonna do.
Really? Do you think that's what Jesus wants you to do? Because
yeah, definitely. He's gonna come back and he's just gonna.
Does he want me to turn the other cheek when you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's gonna be real happy.
At least we figured out who was illiterate.
Isn't that amazing? A Christian phones in. Obviously, we've got Jesus, who is supposed to be the Prince of Peace, advocates pacifism and turning the other cheek. And we've got this Christian calling in, threatening to come down to the studio and punch in Matt's fat face. I actually think that Matt was quite rattled by that, because I noticed that after the call, immediately after he hangs up on him, he picks up his papers and starts shuffling them around. Actually, obviously, the guy did actually sound quite threatening, to be honest with you, and you can't always write off these people as nuts. You never know. One day, who knows? Anyway, let's hear what else Matt has got to say about this incident.
But one of my favorite calls. I'm going to come punch your face for Jesus. I mean, there's absolutely nothing you could really say in response to that. And honestly, probably the best thing I can do is point out that I don't for a moment think that he represents the majority of Christians out there watching the show, or the majority of God believers out there watching the show, because I have conversations with those people. I have family members who are those people. I have close friends who are those people.
Well, that's all true, of course, but I do honestly and earnestly believe that there are at least hundreds of Christians out there that would like to punch Matt in the face, simply because he's done such a brilliant job of debunking their false religion. And that makes them angry. That really, at least this guy was honest. He came on and he just expressed raw emotion. He didn't express any intelligence whatsoever, because when he came on and said, you guys are illiterate with the Bible, and Matt asked him for an example, he just said, "Oh, just everything you say." He hadn't got a specific example, because he hasn't got the intelligence. He just knows that Matt has done a brilliant job over the years of completely undermining any logic or evidence for Christianity. And that makes him angry. It makes him very angry. And there are lots of angry religious people out there that would like to beat up on atheists. There are. At least this guy is honest about it. Okay, guys, here we go with the next clip. One of my favorites. Let's go with it.
Well, yeah, we can actually switch over to callers.
So let's go on. We've got Kevin. How you doing?
Hey, guys. Great show.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hey, just wanted to preface everything by saying that I'm not a Christian, but
me neither.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said me neither.
You guys are good. Hey,
That was easy.
let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of like surfing the channels. I just got here last weekend visiting a friend, but it struck me. Let me ask you a serious question.
Okay.
It seems to me that it's okay that y'all are not Christians. Is that what I get?
Well, they've
Yeah.
just
We're not a lot of things, actually, but
it's just been clarified at the start of the call that they're not Christians, and he's coming back to that. Must have a short memory.
that's among the things we're not.
I'm not
Okay. It seems pretty apparent to me that it's open season on the Christians. I'm not a
Now that's strange. Yeah, because he's saying he's not a Christian, yet he's coming on to the show to complain that it's open season on the Christians.
Christian.
It's open season as far as I'm concerned on any supernatural belief or claim, because none of them have ever been proven, and I don't think any of them will ever be proved. But the fact is that without any proof, it's all just a bunch of, it's no different from me claiming that there's a pixie that lives in my inner ear that tells me the winning lottery numbers. I just choose not to play them. I mean, it's that absurd.
Sure.
To me.
And hey, that's fair. But let's talk about what else is fair.
Okay.
What if let's say the Muslim, Islam, and all that stuff, they want to lop your heads off. What if we said that you know what, you guys look a lot better without your shoulders? How would that go over?
I'm not quite sure what you're getting at.
Cutting your heads off. How would that go? Would y'all have a second thought about ragging on Islam, or is it just okay to?
I read up on Islam.
Yeah, I'll talk about any religion. I have no fear.
Well, I haven't heard y'all talk about Islam.
I know that
heard you talk about, and you'll probably hang up on me real quick, but let's talk about your comfort level with ragging on the Christians, but apparently, those. Let's say there was a jihad against PAC TV, and they wanted to go ahead and lop that fat ass head bald head off. What would happen at that point?
Well,
you just hang up on them, or
sure. If they wanted to call in and be belligerent, I'd hang up on them just as I would with anybody called in and be belligerent. But I'm an advocate of freedom of speech being one of them, freedom of religious belief being another, and they're entitled to their beliefs. What they're not entitled to do is enforce those beliefs or push those beliefs on other people. And it doesn't bother me that there may be some Islamic person out there who, when I
they're not Islamic,
huh?
They're not Islamic.
Well, that's weird because he just said Islam, didn't he? And he said it jihad. And now he's saying they're not Islamic. Well, if they're not Islamic, what are they?
What difference?
There's a new breed.
Well, all right. Put whatever label you want on them.
I'm just telling you that maybe it's not okay for some of the Christians.
You're not
out
getting
there.
what I'm saying.
I'm not a Christian, but I want you to know that you might think twice. I'm going to hang up.
That sounds. It really does sound to me. It sounds to me like a kind of. Well, it sounds to me like a threat that. A threat against freedom of speech, effectively.
I'm not hanging up on you. Put you on hold. You're not hearing what I'm saying. It doesn't matter to me what religion label you put on it. If there's somebody whose belief is that my head deserves to be chopped off because I'm making fun of their beliefs, I don't care if they're Christian, Islamist, Scientologist, it doesn't matter. You can put whatever label you want on it. It doesn't matter. I don't have any fear of them. If it happens, it happens. I can't do anything about it. But I'm not going to lie. And I'm not going to tone down the show, and I'm not going to offer some kind of deference or respect. Ridiculous ideas are by definition deserving of ridicule. Now, if they marched into here and on television held me down and pointed a gun at my head and said, you renounce atheism and accept Islam right now, or whatever religion they want, or we're going to kill you, guess what I'd do? I'd renounce atheism and I'd say that, yes, I agree, and I'm now Islamic.
Yeah, well, that assumes that they would give him the chance. I expect that they will just simply come into the studio and start shooting.
Because that's what it takes to save my life. Do I mean it? No, but their concept is so absurd. It doesn't make any difference to me if under duress I make that announcement, because it's not real. It's not true. Now, I have no real fear that any of that's likely to happen, but I'm not going to show respect for somebody because of a threat of force. I mean, just without any reality to it.
Yeah, so the caller seems to be suggesting that the reason that the hosts at the Atheist Experience spend all their time, shall we say, beating up on Christianity, is because Christians, don't resort to violence when their religion is criticized, but that, he mentions Islam. Of course, we know that Muslims can get quite violent when their religion is criticized, or when they're ridiculed, or whatever images of Muhammad are illustrated in various publications. We've seen what can happen, and So he seems to be upset. It seems to me that he's upset that anybody could come on to the media and ridicule and undermine religious beliefs. And he's saying, okay, you're doing it with Christianity because you can get away with it, but maybe you shouldn't be able to get away with it. And what if there's a new breed, a breed that will not allow you to do this? Then what are you going to do? And Matt has quite rightly said that he would just he would not show any deference for it, but that of course if they marched in there with a gun, yeah, of course he would convert on the spot, but it doesn't mean anything.
You're back on the air.
Hello? You still there?
Well, he's gone.
By the way, as a public service announcement, if you're...
We're not going to listen to the public service announcement. So that's about it really then. So yeah, a threat to lop that fat-ass bald head off. So we've seen in two clips today, one threat to punch Matt's fat face in for Jesus, and another threat to lop off that fat-ass bald head. You've got to really admire Matt for the fact that he's spent all these years fighting ignorance and superstition and unjustified beliefs, knowing that those threats are out there. So thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the clips.